Hey everyone. Hi, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. Good morning. It's Thursday. Yay, it's March 4th. It's the only day that of the year, I think, that has, oh no, maybe May, but March 4th is like a command. March 4th and conquer kind of thing. So I always remember that. March 4th. But then I know there's like May the 4th be with you. May the 4th. So I don't know. I amuse myself. So, you know, that's the way it goes. I'm my only company. So anyway, I can say and do whatever I like because this is Cricut land and we can do whatever we want, right? Good morning to all of you. It's a beautiful sunny day today here. It feels like spring is coming. I'm so excited. I'm excited because for a couple of reasons. One, it's just sunny and sun makes me happy. And also that today there's a special announcement from Cricut later on. So I hope you all tune in for that. And then I'll be back after that to talk to you. And let's see, what else? Today we're doing these interactive cards that were so much fun to put together that I want to show you. There's not just one. I showed you this one. This is called a matryoshka, which is Russian for nesting dolls. Matryoshka. And I know that because I studied Russian in college, remember? So these are nesting dolls, and you know I wanted to have my original nesting dolls around here. I'm going to have to take a picture of it, but I do have some nesting dolls that I got when I was in the Soviet Union back in the 80s. And so when I happened upon this card, I thought, oh, this is perfect because it really gives that, you know, real feel of a nesting doll. So when you lift up the top part of the card, out pops a smaller matryoshka or nesting doll, and then you open up that one and out pops the littlest one. Isn't that adorable? Just so cute. And I have a Ukrainian friend. She's older, and I'm gonna send this to her, but I have to, you know, preface it by saying that these are Russian because there's a difference between Ukrainian and Russian, just like Poland and all of the other Russian states. They have their own history and cultural traditions and what have you. But I'm gonna send it to her anyway because she'll like it because it has a lot of these floral on it. So this is just one of the 3 cards that we are going to do today. The second one is this unbelievably cute, what is he? He's an astronaut in an astronaut, and he actually is on a tether, which is in the back here. Oh, it's Faye's birthday. Happy birthday, Faye. So he's in a tether that you can adjust after it's opened or when it's closed. He's looking out the portal, but then he can kind of come out like this. I just think he's adorable. So my little cosmonaut or astronaut or whatever, but it's very 1950s style. And look at all this. So 50s style type of thing. Excuse me. And then the third one that I'm going to show you is this one. It's kind of like the frog one we did, but I'm putting it in the grouping of interactive because it has an element on the inside that when you open up, so it says, "How do I love thee?" And I actually put this together wrong. I'm going to show you the correct way, but it says, "Let me count the ways," and here are all the numbers. And then here in this little pouch are all these little heart-shaped, numbers. And I could think, if you have somebody that you really love and you want to give this card to, you could put, you can hand pen on the back, different things, like maybe your laugh. I love your laugh. I love your smile. I love the way you say the word this or whatever. And I could see that would be really cute. And it's kind of like a little bungee, but it's made of paper. And you could put that all in there. And it does come with a envelope. And it folds just like we folded the frog one, with the lily pad, except this one, and this is what I mean about putting it together wrong. This one has this little arrow that keeps it shut and everything inside. And when I put this together in the dark last night, I didn't put it together right because there actually is a little flap that I'll show you when we put it together. Okay. So cute. I'm calling these interactive cards. There was a fourth one that is a jukebox that has like a record that goes in a pocket. Excuse me. It goes in a pocket. I didn't have time to do that yesterday because I was busy with a whole bunch of stuff with my son and stuff like that. So I didn't get a chance to do it. But when I give you this file, it will be on there. So you can cut it out. And maybe I'll cut it out as well there. So these 4 cards. Let me show you where to get them from. I'm calling these the interactive cards because they have something that you have to do to sort of get the whole message, right? So let's start off from scratch because you'll be starting off from scratch. Although I will give you I'll give you the file so you can just click on that link and be brought to the file. And if you want to keep it in your version of Design Space, be sure to save it to your version of Design Space because otherwise you'll have to keep going back and looking for the file. And so there's that. Anyway, I also wanted to mention today I'm going to talk a little bit more about this Barely Art glue and the tips because I got a new set in the mail and I wanted to explain to you these tips because I think it's important to know. And look, I got glue on this here, but I think it's important to understand how the tips work and blah, blah, all that stuff. So I want to mention that. And also I have been planning for the next few weeks. I have a load of still to be scheduled Easter, St. Patrick's, spring, and all kinds of just like fun cards and projects and all of that coming up in the next few weeks. So you definitely want to be subscribed to my YouTube channel, which you can find as Miss Rita to the Rescue. We, as I mentioned, we recently hit 12,000 subscribers, which is fabulous. Also, we have Patreon. I got to mention that just to mention it. I want to just show you this. Look at this. It's a strawberry box, and these are actually strawberries. I'm going to put them together and show you how to put them together because you can make yourself a little strawberry box. Oh my gosh, we're going to have so much fun. Okay, so what's so cool? My dad worked at NASA. Ooh, that's pretty neat. Awesome. Yep. So lots of projects. So let me start by saying hello and let's go to our image search engine where we can find these. Now these cards do come from, the image sets, the crazy cool, crazy cute cards. And, so I'm using the crazy as the, I'm using crazy as the word that I'm choosing these images from. So here's crazy cool cards. Here's crazy cute cards. Now, I wanted to just point this out because I do know that we have some people that use iPads only, exclusively iPads, or maybe even iPhones. Most people do use How come a card mat can't be used in the maker machine? Oh, yeah, we can talk about that, Diane. Okay, so I wanted to mention this because I have noticed a few anomalies in when I'm working on my iPad or my phone to try to find to try to figure out what's going on, because there are some people who have been watching our videos and they cannot locate these image sets. So I have mentioned that to Cricut, and they're going to have a look at it. I've personally noticed that myself when I'm on my iPad only. I don't notice it on my desktop. And so if you have that issue, let me know, and we can go ahead and we can like sort of report it all to Cricut. It's good we do it as a group. Okay, so to find these cards, I'm going to the Crazy Cute cards first, and I'm going to look for this one. Here is the little spaceship card, and then also here is our Matryoshka, or our nesting doll card, is right here. And then the third one, which is the How Do I Love You, is not this one, although that one is adorable, and we're going to actually do it tomorrow. We have to go to Crazy Cool Cards to look for that one. And where is it? How Do I Love Thee? So I'm happy to be able to show you these because they really, sometimes they just don't do justice what's inside of them. Like, for instance, this one here with the question mark, you don't know what's inside there. So I want to also point out that if you wanted to, you can go to your Google, your browser, whatever browser, and type in cricut.com/handbooks. Okay. And what this does is it will bring you to a grid on the Cricut website that will show you all the handbooks that were ever part of an image set. And let me just backtrack to explain what a handbook is. So you remember I told you that we, when we started working with Cricuts, they used to have cartridges. So each cartridge inside of this box, kind of like think of it like, it looked kind of like a VHS box, and you'd open it up, and it would have like either a spiral bound handbook, and it was very detailed. But because you used to set the machine itself, you needed that handbook. You needed all the numbers just to cut the right things at the right size. So that's what the handbooks are. And most of the stuff that's in there is not going to be super useful to you. I know that. But some of them are useful, especially with these cards. Let me just find the Crazy, C-R-A-Z. So Crazy Cool Cards and Crazy Cute Cards. And on the second row is where you can get the handbook. You hit open, and here is the actual handbook, and that they've reproduced in a PDF, much bigger than what you used to get. And it shows you all of the cards that are there. And as you continue to scroll, this is the part that's probably not super useful to you. But if you continue to scroll down to the bottom, it will show you how to put them together. So this is one we're doing today, right? And it actually shows the completed card, which is cool. Now, all this stuff here, not really super useful to you. However, if you go down here, like here, so see, remember we did this monster thing? That is how we did the monster thing. So there's steps there. I mean, sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes they're not super understandable steps, but if you study them, because someone was saying, I don't know how to put together this cascade card, and it will take you through. It's kind of like what I do, but I do it a little more detailed, okay? So that's good to know. Not every cartridge or image set has a handbook, and some of the handbooks are completely useless, I'll be honest. And some of them are really, really useful. I think this one is pretty useful. So anyway, we're going to take and bring all three of those images into our canvas, and I am going to resize them as I always do. They do come in with their own envelope. So let's just put these aside. Okay, so let's work on this guy here. He is a spaceman. Now, one of the things I did notice on the handbooks is that they advocate, Cricut was advocating back then, that you size this like whole thing just like this. And personally, I mean, you could do it that way, but I find that really distracting and not very useful. And that just may be the way my brain works, right? So what I like to do when I have an image that's all these pieces and laid out together in a group is I like to sort of put everything in a pile, a very neat pile. So you see I'm putting these all in a neat pile. And of course the envelope is the biggest piece there. If you don't want the envelope, that's okay. But if you have any inclination to use the envelope, make sure you include it when you resize it, okay? Because otherwise, if we left this out and resize this to a large piece, the envelope wouldn't fit. Okay, so then once I have made my little pile, I group it together, and I do that by choosing group up here. And that way I know all of the pieces when I size it are going to be matching. So you won't have a really big piece of, the fin, I don't know what they're called, but you know what I mean? You don't have this ginormous piece of the fin and have smaller porthole thing. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Everything's going to work in conjunction with each other, in relation to each other. Okay. So, what did I size these at? I sized them at, and this one's interesting because the height is the maximum. It's the larger of the two. And I believe I sized these at 11 to make a size card about this. And remember, that's because I thought it was really kind of cute. I wanted a nice wide looking card. This one will not, by the way, these won't stand on their own, but they're really adorable cards. And so I sized them at 11, and then, there's envelopes or whatever. So there is that. I'm going to do the same thing for our Matryoshka. So let's just make it bigger and ungroup. Start moving all these pieces in to make a very neat pile. And these ones have very tall pieces in there, and that's okay, but just make it so that it's sort of all together like this. You see? And then, actually what I would do here is move this piece up. Right. Okay. And move this. I'm being a stickler here, but okay. All right. So put it in a pile, group it together, and then do your resizing. I did resize this. So the maximum was, I believe I did it at 11 because of the width, or might have been, I think I did it at 10. So I will give you the sizes when I give you that file. But the point that I'm trying to make is that everything needs to be resized together so that you don't end up with pieces that don't fit with your end product. Same thing for this one. This one is that interactive How Do I Love Thee one. Let's get that over here. Here it is. Okay. Whoop. Now this one has a lot of a lot of very detailed cutting. And so I would suggest, if you're going to do this How Do I Love Thee one, that you cut it, especially these pieces, these white pieces, I would cut these on intricate cut setting. We talked about that yesterday. Remember, it's a setting in cardstock, and I can show you. In fact, let's just see if, let's see, I'm going to just show you after I resize this thing. So I resized this one to like, I think it was like 11 or 11 and a half. And the main piece is this piece in the end, the petals, like it looks like a flower. So once you resize it, you will notice still that this is very, this is very intricate, and I would definitely cut out intricate cut. Sorry, I'm not paying attention today or something. I don't know. I had coffee. Anyway, so these are pretty intricate, so I would cut that. I want to point out here on this one, this has scoring that goes, it's like an X and then a cross. That's it. These ones are not going to be folded. And then you see that there's this little slit here. That slit is so that we can take this piece and turn it over and put it in there to kind of close it up. But I messed up, and so I am going to show you how to put it together correctly. I messed up with how this was put together, but it's still very cute, and I would definitely send it to somebody, and this is how it looks, right? We're going to put it together the correct way, but I wanted to show you, about the intricate cut setting. So here is what you get. Let's say we do continue. So if you want to find the intricate cut setting and you have an Explore, you need to turn your dial to custom setting. And then when you get to custom setting, you'll have this, which is browse all materials, right? And you'll have favorites that you can favorite here. But when you do that, you'll see here, this is cardstock. That's what you're looking for. Now, normally when I'm making cards, we cut on medium cardstock, which is an 80-pound weight, and that seems to work for most of the cardstock. But sometimes when you're cutting something paper that is very detailed, you are going to need for the machine to sort of back up, slow up, and do it in actually 2 cuts. And that's what this cardstock for intricate cuts does. And it's right here at the very top, cardstock for intricate cuts. Now, some people were saying that they do it, that they leave it always on cardstock for intricate cuts. And there's no harm in doing that. It would take longer to cut because it slows the process down and actually cuts in 2 passes instead of 1. Okay. All right. So that is that process. So that's how you'd bring it in and you'd cut it out. I'm going to spend some time now putting them together, and I want to talk a little bit about the glue because I think it's super useful to understand the difference. And people are very excited about this glue, and I'm happy because it's great glue, but I want to make sure that you're using it in the correct way. If you actually invest in the glue. So this is called Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. It comes in a number of sizes. When I first bought it, I bought it like this. It was this bear full of glue. And then I have this one here. And it also came with this, which are tips. Okay. And so you can buy it like this as a bundle. It's about $30. And if you want to buy it, there's a link to buy it on Amazon, but you can also buy it on the Barely Art website. It's the same price, so it depends on what you like, where you like to buy stuff. So, and just for reference, I bought this. It's 11 ounces and 4 ounces, so I got 15 ounces, right? And I got this in the early fall, and I'm still not through with this refill. and I use it every day. So this is, it lasts a really long time. And the reason why it lasts a really long time is you don't use a whole lot. And the reason why you don't use a whole lot is because of these tips. Okay. Now you see on this one here, I use this tip and I kind of use it exclusively, but, I got this little bit here, this little grouping, so I could show you guys how this works. So if you just want to invest like not a lot of money, I think this is like $11 or $12 on Amazon, okay? And here's what you get. You get this little baby, so it's half the size of the one that I use. You get the baby one, you get the actual cover, so there's a replacement cover, and then you get this vial full of a bunch of different tips, and I want to show you what they all do. So the first thing that you would do is you would take off this, and there will be a protective seal there. Take that off too, and then we're going to put this on, and this holds all of the tips. Now, so here are the 3 tips. This one, the green one, is called the storage tip. So by putting that on there, it keeps the hole clear and you can store it. So you can, have that there every day when you're done or when you're not, when you're not gluing. This one here is just the regular, this is one I use mostly. And what do they call it? They call it a fine tip, and it is a fine tip. And it just goes on like this and it squeezes like this. All right. And that's like how the glue comes out. And then the last one that's in this grouping is this one with a very ultra fine tip. And it also just kind of twists on, and look at how absolutely tiny. Of course, I used it this morning. And I didn't clean it, and this is the last piece that I want to show you, is the pin to keep it clean, because these clog up very easily. So see how very teeny tiny this is? Now, when you're done with it, you can do a couple of things. This is what I do, and maybe I'm a little lazy, but I just put the tip in like this when I'm done, and I'm just gonna, I know I'm gonna be using it the next day or two, and then I store these other pieces here like this. I put the pin in, but what you have to be aware of is that pin is not going to rust. It's a special pin. So you're going to want to make sure you keep that pin, or if you have to, you can use stainless steel pins. They're not as long and they're honestly not as good, but these are nickel plated pins. And whenever I lose my pin here, I use one of those, which I do here. Now, someone but someone in the group, it's actually a Ladra Curry, has found a little way to save this pin from falling into the abyss of all the paper cuts on your floor. And she found these little tiny magnets that she glued or adhered to the side of her bottle. And then when she take the pin out, she would just adhere it here. Other people have purchased on Etsy these fancy, they almost look like earrings that hold that pin, so you won't lose it and it won't just roll off. So there's that. Other people have different ways of dealing with losing it, but this is a major problem, is that you need those pins, and if you get lost, you have to find a solution. And that my solution was to use sewing common pins with the fancy like pearl thing. Those are stainless, but it's not the best solution. Okay, so that is Barely Art craft glue. Works really, really well, and we'll just kind of play with that today because we're going to need it for this card. So let's start off with the Matryoshka, which is the Russian nesting dolls. Let's get all the pieces. So there are a lot of pieces here, and you're going to want to check on your handbooks to help you put it together, or actually, it makes sense if you sort of start like laying them out. So this is the big one. This is the outside one. This is the middle one. And then you're going to have the small one. The small one does not have a white backing. And then what I did was I just started matching the pieces by size. Okay. So here's the baby one. And I started just kind of looking at the sides and matching those. They're not in the correct order yet, but I'm just matching by size so that you can see that there are actually three different heads and faces on these. And let's see, this one goes here, and there's our little one. And this is actually the little piece. There's only 3 pieces on that little one. And then you'll see these are the faces. So this is the smaller of the 2, and then this piece. So now I have them all in sort of order, and I'm going to work actually from smallest to biggest to make it easier for you to understand it. So let me just move these 2 pieces, keep them all together. So the way this one goes together is the black piece is just the shape. The red gives, a little bit of peek out from the black, so you can see that the color of the hair is black. And then the what? Oh, sorry. Hey. I think the mailman is here, but I don't know why he's barking. Okay, so, and then this piece goes on top. Super easy and super easy to put together. So we're just going to glue this piece this way. Then we have our baby Matryoshka. And this goes on the top, you see? Like that. Actually, this is the correct, that's the correct side. Okay, so here we go. And then our little baby one is done. Just like that. And the thing about Matryoshkas is that they were never like really highly decorated. They were made out of wood, so you can just leave it just like that. That's perfect. And so here, now we put that aside. We're going to do the middle piece. So the middle piece has this piece. So we're going to fold it like this. See that? Fold it like this. And then we're going to build the doll. So it has 2 pieces. It has the bottom piece and the top piece. So here's the top piece, here's the bottom. Okay, let's do the top first. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 layers plus the white. So, but the white doesn't show through. So here's the pink, and then you'll see this one has like more cutouts than this one. So it means the more cutouts is closer to the top, if that makes sense. And then here comes the flesh color, or the brownish color. I don't know what you want to call it. Ivory is what I chose. And here is the way that it looks. So you'll know if you have messed up the order, you'll know it, because you won't, once you get this all together, if you cannot see all of the colors, so in this case I can't see the black, then I know that I have messed up the way that it goes. Okay? So this way is the correct way, like this. So then we're going to glue this. Okay? And easy peasy. It's a really easy glue. Pile these on here. Okay. And then the face. I got hair again. I have hair everywhere. Okay, so this is just about done. And then once you get the head part done, we can take our folded thing and we're going to put this on the top part. Not here, but on the flap, okay? Because we're trying to create an interactive piece where the baby's going to be in there. So it's going on the flap. However, the bottom piece is going to go on to the bottom piece. So it'll give the idea that you're actually opening it up. So this one has 3 colors, the black, the ivory, and the red. But you'll notice on the red, it has these 3 little tabs that you fold in like this. Now, you could do this one of two ways, and I tried it both ways, and I didn't really have a preference. But what I was thinking is that you could either put the flaps on so that they are on the back like this. Now that will lead to, you'd see that on the back of the card, okay? Or you can actually make those flaps go in like this and you wouldn't see it, but it would make the space that it fits in smaller, and this is what's going to end up happening, right? So it doesn't really matter which way you do it. So I think for me, for this one, I will do it this way, where I take and put the flaps on the back. But remember, you have a choice. You can do it either way. Okay, so then we take the 2 pieces, the black and the beige, or ivory, I guess, and we glue them together and then onto that little pocket. Okay. You guys will be better with the glue than I am. I'm just kind of, going through the motions here as far as the proper way to do it. Okay, so there's your middle matryoshka, right? And then see how it opens up like this, and then you can take your small one and pop her inside. So you're almost, well, you're 2/3 of the way there. Your last one is your large, the external one. And you'll notice that you get these 2 pieces. I'm going to show you what I did for these pieces. So this 2 actually serves as a thickener to make the card sort of thick so it doesn't sort of wobble. See that? But also I used it to hide these little tabs, because we're going to do the tabs again, right? So we have the 3 tabs, and it actually goes, the tabs, you can just pop them in like this and turn it over like this, just like we did that middle one. And then we'll take the other piece of the like the big piece, the white piece, and we'll put it on the back. It will hide the little pocket, the tabs from the pocket, but it will also give our card much needed strength to be able to not be wobbly, right? Okay, so there is our main piece with the pocket there. Then I'm going to take this part and put it here on the back. And it will hide the tabs here, okay? All right, there you go. Now you're ready to start to decorate the last part, and let's do the bottom first. So we've got the black is the first color, and then we have red, off-white, and pink. The pink has the fewest number of cutouts, so that becomes the next in line, or the second to last color, and then the red, because it has a little bit more, and then the off-white or the ivory, and it creates the design. So see, I can see all 4 colors, black, pink, red, and ivory there, and that's what I'm going for. So the rest is just gluing together the pieces. And this fits really actually quite nicely in the envelope. So I did cut out the envelope for my Ukrainian friend. And I'll show you that envelope. So when we're done, I'll show you the envelope. Okay, so we're just building that up by gluing. It's all just glue from here. Once you have all the pattern pieces in order the way you want them. I admit that it can be a little bit difficult when you're cutting everything out and you're piling up your little pieces, and then when you have to go to put them together on a card like this with so many pieces, it gets a little bit scary, like, oh no, I don't know what I do with this thing. And sometimes there's little teeny tiny pieces. So okay, so here is almost done, and you'll see that our other 2 dollies go on the inside, and now all we have to do is the head. I'll take those dollies out just so you can see. So the head is also black, then this pink, which has the least amount of cuts, then the red, which has a few more cuts, and then the skin or the ivory color for the head. Just so cute, right? I mean, just really such a clever card. And I don't want for you to be, I want to kind of take the mystery out of it, because it really is a clever card, and one that I think people would really enjoy, because they enjoy Matryoshka a lot. And in fact, they actually make Matryoshka in like different, I've seen them done in Disney characters, and I remember back in the 80s they did all of the presidents of the Soviets. So they had like Lenin, and then they had the different ones, Andropov and Gorbachev, and it was kind of interesting. You just kept opening it up and opening up. They had Stalin in there and everything, and it was really interesting to get those. I mean, clearly not traditional, but they used the idea of this sort of inside, open up. There's another one. How far inside will it go? And then the smallest one ended up being Lenin, who was the beginning of the Soviet rule. It's interesting. But I like this one better because it's just all about the culture and tradition. And it's kind of authentic, right? So here we go. So there's our mommy, the big one, and then we're going to take and open it up and put the small one in. So the way that you would give this card, or the person that would take this card, and we open it up like this, and out comes the middle one, and then open up like this, and out comes the baby one. And I just think it's really cute. There's not a lot of space to write on. I suppose you could write on the back here, but it's just so cute, you know? So there is our Matryoshka. Let's go to the How Do I Love Thee one. Well, actually, let's do the little boy in the space thing, because it has fewer pieces. So this one's real cute, and he has like this. I think what I really like about this is it has like this interactive piece. So once you give the card, you know, you can sort of play around, and he can be out in space like this. But I actually put it in wrong. Boop. So he could be flying around upside down in space like this. And that is achieved by this little slit and this hooky device here on the back. But I actually put the, oh, I'm sorry, Perlita. I actually put it in wrong. So we'll we'll do it correctly this time. Okay, so it's a cute little cosmonaut or astronaut or whatever you want to call him, and he goes in there and then you know, so that's pretty awesome. Okay, so the main piece is this. I cut it in like a dark gray, believe it or not, it's gray, and it has a score here. And then the other pieces, the other big pieces are this one and these two in the orange. All right. So this one, because it has no hole for the little porthole, goes here. And then for the outside, these two go like this. And so you'll see through this ivory. And I did it in the colors that they suggested. So we're just going to glue these two together. All right. Glue this together. And if we want to, while we're doing that, we can decorate it by using this piece for the porthole. And where's the other piece? And this piece for the cone. And then we've got actually two pieces that go down here near the legs, I guess. This is how it would actually land. I suppose that's the way that it worked. I'm no NASA expert, so, and I think there's a little bit of fantasy involved in this one. It's not exactly accurate, I'm sure, but it's real cute. So here's the little porthole to see through, and we're just gonna put a little bit of glue around there. Well, this goes here, and put this part here. So there's the outside of the card. It's going to get attached to the main piece like this. Just like this. It helps hold it open like that so you can see. So when you turn it over and you're going to put the glue on, don't put the glue on the leg part because it will just make a mess. And we're just going to put this here. Okay, easy enough. It does overlap a little bit there, and that's fine. But I don't want to see the black. Okay, that's the outside of the card. The inside of the card will get this piece, and you'll notice that there's that flap there, so you have to match them up because you need that opening. But also gets the flame from the combustion, I guess. And so it goes like this, and there's a little tiny piece that goes here to kind of indicate, I don't know, you guys know what that's called, I don't. Anyway, so we're just going to glue these pieces together, and then we're going to work on our little cosmonaut. I keep calling him cosmonaut because I don't know, because it looks like 50s version. And the cosmonauts were first ones in space, so. Okay, so this goes down here, and then this piece here. And we are done with the actual card. We need to put together the guy. Astronaut, the astronaut, okay? So here you go. And I kind of like the way this is like a see-through, and you can see that, but it's not sticking on altogether great. Okay, so there's our actual card, right? Now we can work on our guy. Now, when I originally put this guy together, so it consists of this, and this. There is one more piece that we have to put on the inside, but we'll do that later. So when I originally put him together, I put him together so that his little, hey you, what are you doing? Dog's after something. Okay, so I put him together so that this was going this way, but I don't want to do it that way because I want him to be able to get out onto the scene and do a little exploring. So I need to make sure that to the right is where it's placed. And it's just a matter of putting together this piece. First, I think has to go his skin tone, which you can change up, of course. There we go. All right, and then this piece comes over here and just sort of match up by the hands, right? What I hadn't considered is that he doesn't have boots like on. That seems a little weird. Okay, so here is our guy, and we'll just go ahead and put this on the inside of the space capsule. Okay. So the way that this works is you're going to start with here and you're going to pop it into your, oh look, I lost my piece there. You're going to pop this into this flap, right? I lost my little piece. Where did it go? Did it fall? It fell on the ground. Hold on. Sorry, it fell on the ground. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here. All right. So then you have to just sort of string it through to in the back. Like this. And I know it's a little weird. Feels a little weird to do it that way, but this is what you're doing. You're going to sort of lace it through to the back for presentation anyway, you know, and you're going to have it so that there's nothing showing there, but it will show a little tiny bit in the back. And then you can close it and he's right in the portal of the porthole, I should say, of the capsule. And then when you're, you know, give it to somebody, then the astronaut can sort of play outside of the space capsule by taking him and moving him out here this way. See? Woo! Now I'm out in space, lost in space. Okay, so there is our second one. Okay. And let's do the last one. This is that How Do I Love Thee. This one we're going to use that very ultra fine tip on because we're going to need it. And this is a lot like the frog one that we did before. It only folds in 3 places. You see, it folds in half here, or in half here, depending on how you hold it. And then these 2 sides are not folded, but these 2 sides are folded. So it goes, you fold it in half like this, and then like this on each, like this. Okay? So you see that? And it's really important to kind of look at for this one piece. It's a slit. And I actually, on the back, used a pen just to show you where it is. So there's a little slit. And the way that this is going to fold is that the sides are going to come in like this, and this comes down, right? And this is going to be the back where that slit is. So this would be the front. Now, on the front goes this piece that has a arrow. right? So we're going to put that on there. And then we're going to use the arrow and get it into this little slit right here, just to kind of hold the card closed, okay? We don't have to do it just yet, but let's go ahead and put this piece on the front, because that will make a difference in where we place the pieces on the inside, okay? So I'm just using my very ultra fine tip here, which is great, to put the glue on all of these pieces. Now you'll do it better, clearly, because I am, you know, sort of moving quickly, not rushing. I'm just moving quickly. Okay. So we'll put all of this glue here. And so we're not using a lot of glue. We're just using a little, but we're using it in all the places where it's going to lift if we don't. And remember, if you miss a spot like here or something, you can always kind of get it in there. I'll show you. So you can get it in there once you place your piece on there. So here's my first piece, the outside piece, like that. Now, if I miss glue here, I can always just come back and just sort of dot it into the little places where it's lifting up. Okay, so now we're going to open it up. So keep this on here and open it like this. And then we can start placing the pieces. So the numbers go here. And then when you open it up, here it says, let me count the ways. And then here is going to be where all of our little numbers are going to go, right? So what you do need to know about this is that these two sides are going to fold. So you have to be very careful about gluing them, especially in the middle area, because when you fold them, they might lift if they don't have enough glue on them. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to use my thicker one, because I want to make sure I have enough glue on there to really hold it in place when I go to fold it. And I won't fold it, well, I might fold it before it's dry, but you won't fold it before it's dry because you'll know better. You'll know better and you'll do better. Okay, so here we go. I'm putting all the glue on, and these pieces are exactly the same on the left and the right. Okay, I'm going to let that dry, because see, there is where I'm going to fold it. And I really want it to stick on that area. I might have to come back and put a little tiny bit more glue on there. Same thing for this. Okay. So even though I want it to really stick, you notice I'm not globbing the glue on, and that is because when you glob that glue on, it tends to take a long time to dry, and then it warps or wrinkles your material, and it also kind of comes seeping out there. But going to make sure that that's on there really good. Okay, and then we're just going to do these other two pieces. There is something special that we're going to do with this piece at the bottom. And this, you know, it takes a little bit of patience, but it's well worth it when you see the person, or when you think of the person opening up this card. It's just so adorable. And again, like I said, I think this would make a good one for, you know, someone you love that you've known a long time. Even if it's just like a grandchild or something, you know, how do I love you? Let me count the ways. That was always something we said growing up. And I don't know where it came from, but you could take those little hearts and you could put little things on the back. Like, I like your laugh, and I like how you're kind, or you're generous, or you have beautiful eyes, or something like that. And you can put all those wonderful little attributes that you love about your little friend that you're giving this to. And it's a real cute little treasure, and also very interactive. So, okay. So there is that piece. It's going on here. I'm going to turn it around. So this piece, we're not going to put glue on. This is sort of like a bungee holder, like on a train or something, where they would put those bungees so it won't fall off. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to put our little hearts in there. So we're just going to put glue around the edge of this, which is very tight. So make sure you use your special ultra tip, or just try real hard just to have it come out in a small bead. And this goes on here. Now see how it kind of like lifts? We want that. All right, so that's the card. It's completed. Then the interactive part becomes these little hearts that have a background here. So I'm going to put some glue on those, on all. There's 9 of them. Oh, Benji. Benji's crying here. Not sure why. I think he wants to play today. Okay. So you would just go through and you would glue all of these. I don't have to glue them all, but I can. And anyway, so this is what you would do. So I'm going to talk while I'm gluing so that I can get to a few things. Hey, wondering how many of you have alcohol markers, because I found a great little project in Design Space that is for like kind of like a stained glass look. I was inspired by Loretta's card. I think it was Loretta's card from last week, where she used the alcohol ink markers. And so I looking around for that and found a really cute like stained glass look that's going to use acetate. So if you have them, make sure you dig them out of your stash, because we're going to be doing that. What else are we going to do? We're going to make a couple of things that you can put Easter treats in, like a little carrot box that you can put jelly beans in. And what else is there? There's so many. A little label that we're going to make for mason jar, so you can put, like little chocolates in there, and so they won't get squished, and you can put it in to a basket. And we'll make a basket out of paper, too. It won't be that sturdy, but it would look really cute, like say on your spring dinner, as like a placemat for the dinner. So we're going to be doing all of that too. So the markers, the markers, I don't know that you can use them with the inks. I've only, I've not worked with the markers before, but I got this idea from Cricut Design Space, where you could, color the pieces of acetate with the alcohol markers, and then you can smudge it up using a little drop of alcohol, and it creates like a real stained glass look. So we can do some stained glass looking things. So cute though, really cute. I love eggs, and actually, I'm thinking about breaking out my tools that make pisanke, which is those really ornate eggs. I don't know if anybody's ever done that or tried that before. I used to do it all the time. I'm not sure if that's something you'd want to see, but it is really an interesting process that you do. And it looks like I'm out of one of these hearts. Oh, well. So, okay, Benji. Also want to remind you that Saturday night is our Zoom night. And so we'll be having fun. Remember, there is a theme, but don't feel like you have to participate in the theme. The theme is spring or anything having to do with Easter or St. Patrick's Day. So if you have some headwear that you like and you want to wear, then that's for that. And okay, you. I don't know. The dog is whatever. And let me just show you how these go in. So these get in here. And again, you could just turn them over and just write on the back, I love your eyes or whatever. And then you push them in here and they get held in there. Just a really cute, very interactive. This one doesn't have the heart, but that's okay. So then when you're going to fold it, make sure that your piece is, these two pieces on the side are clearly on there, and this one is not. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit more glue there, and we're going to take up the sides and fold it at the fold, just like that. Flip it over, and this back piece gets put into the slot. It's kind of short and requires a little effort. And I will tell you that I did not know about the slot until after I put this together. So it would actually close like this, but the appropriate thing is to get it into that little slot right there. So you might have to wiggle in and put the little arrow in that slot, and it's going to take, I think what we'll do is we'll take a little weeding tool to sort of lift it up so that we can get it in there, at least for the first time. Okay, and that is that one. How do I love thee? Open it up this way. Let me count the ways, and then all of these little hearts. Aren't they adorable? Just so cute. And then, of course, we've got our little spaceman. And my favorite, the Matryoshka, the Russian nesting dolls, opens up. And then here's the little baby one. So these, I am calling these interactive cards. However, tomorrow there's going to be some surprise inside cards. And so we're going to be doing those. And then we'll be finishing up, tomorrow we'll be finishing up our card extravaganza. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I know I have. These are really fun cards, but we've made all different kinds. We've made trifold cards and Z-fold cards and pinwheel cards and box cards. And we've also done shaker cards and all kinds of cards. So if you like the cards, I will continue to do the cards, but we're going to move on from the extravaganza so that I can present you, I can present you some other non-card projects, because I know people like to do things with vinyl, infusible ink. So we have also those things coming up. So Saturday night is our Zoom night. Tomorrow we're doing surprise inside cards, and then the other announcement that I want to make is that we're only going to be doing we're only going to be doing Brunch Edition Cricut Chat for a couple more weeks, because I just noticed on the calendar that we changed the clocks in a couple of weeks, so we can go back to where I'll have better lighting at night or in the early evening. So we're just going to do a couple more editions of the brunch, and then we'll go to back to date night. Okay. So also, just if you're here now, know that in a couple of hours, so it's at noon our time, I believe. I think you guys already talked about that, but at noon our Eastern time, there's going to be an announcement from Cricut. You can go to the Cricut.com Facebook page, or it's called Cricut, the official page. And then after that, I'll come back to talk about the announcement. So it's exciting stuff. I think you'll really enjoy. And take care. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can watch all of these anytime you like. And we will see you later today. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Your card boxes. I know, I love making cards. I love to make cards, and I love to have a stash of cards. I think that's what I was thinking with the card extravaganza, was that, you know, there's a lot of cards and I always get caught off guard. Oh, it's so-and-so's birthday. Oh, yeah. I got to send them a card. And if I don't have it made, I get so that I drag my feet on there. Okay. And don't forget, there will be a link to this for the art glue through Amazon. But you can also get it on the Barely Art website. And also our friend Dawn has, if you're in Canada, has a link for her Canadian friends. Okay. Bye everyone. See you later.